Okay, in this module, we're looking at how to make things better. And the question I want to pose to you is, who are we making things better for? And if you were paying attention, you might have answered our core patient group, and you would be partially correct. Sorry for the trick question. When you have a group of people, a statistically significant amount, so not just like 5 people, but a couple hundred, then you get what's called a Gaussian curve, or a normal distribution, or a bell curve. We'll just call it a normal distribution for now. When you have a group of people that are statistically significant, you'll get a bell curve or normal distribution of whatever traits. So if it's their age, they will follow a certain trend. You'll have some people who are younger, some people who are older, and at the average, you'll have most people aggregating around the average. If it's their height, you'll get a similar distribution. If it is their, I don't know, what's another physical attribute? Their weight, you get a similar normal distribution. But this also holds true for behaviors. So if you take a look at a group and see how many movies they've watched in the past year or two, then you'll also get a normal distribution. This also holds true when it comes to adopting new behaviors. So what we're going to do is, let's say this normal distribution represents our core patient group. Okay? Here on the left side, people who are 1 standard deviation away, we'll call this our early adopters. Right, this group right here. People in the middle, the average, who are here and who are within 1 standard deviation in between, we'll call this the mainstream. And finally, the people who are beyond this, we'll call them the late adopters. And we're gonna just mark it like this. So when you get a group of people, you get a standard deviation, you get a normal distribution of behaviors when it comes to adopting new behaviors. So we will have approximately, let's just use a black marker. So here represents about 34%. My math might be so off right now. Oh yeah, I am so off. This is actually 68%. I'll just write it in here. The early adopters are going to count for approximately 16%, and so will the late adopters. Right, I think this math adds up. So 32 plus 68 is 100. So early adopters, what is their psychology? So we've already determined our CPG. We've determined a BSP for them. Let's actually keep track. So we've created a BSP. Now we want to add on to these 5 core beliefs that they have. We want to add on another trait, is that these people are early adopters. So what is the psychography of early adopters? Well, they're risk takers. They notice different things. They like to raise their own status. They like to go out and find better ideas, better ways of doing stuff. They're exploring. They bring those ideas back to the group and they share with the mainstream. And because they're the ones bringing these ideas, these better things, they gain status. So these people are hyper vigilant about better. They are searching for better. So this way of being, this inclination to notice different things and look for better, is what we're using to hack in to gain the early adopters into our systems first. The mainstream, their psychography is very different. We'll come back to early adopters and look into how to hack into better, how to get their attention and all that later. The mainstream, their psychography is very different from early adopters. They're less about risk-taking. They want to stay with the herd. They want to be safe. They want solutions that work, that are proven. So people here are looking for safe. Okay, risk-taking, better, safe, less risk-taking. Now, for certain things, I might be an early adopter, but for something else, I might be someone who's more mainstream. I might be mainstream for something, but I might be an early adopter for something else. I don't know if I flipped that around, but the point is, for this context, we're looking for early adopters. Okay, so mainstream, they're looking for something safe. And finally, we have late adopters. So late adopters, they hate change. Even if the whole group is moving, they won't change. The only reason they do change, if at all, is because they're being forced to. Maybe their phone model is no longer supported. Maybe whoever's manufacturing whatever they need goes out of business. Then they're forced to adapt. So late adopters, yeah, that's their psychography. So when it comes to actually who are we building for, the main question that I posed to you, we're actually building for the early adopters. We're not building for the mainstream. The mainstream, they're satisfied. They don't have the dissatisfaction that early adopters have because they're always on the look for something better. They're not fulfilled. They're looking for, they're just hyper attentive about what is better. The mainstream, they're satisfied. They're with the group. They're safe. Going out and looking for something new is actually dangerous to them. They're going to avoid that. So we're not building for the mainstream. And we're also not building for late adopters. In fact, our marketing is never going to be for the late adopters. You can't change. They have a belief system that they can't change, which is funny. So within our core patient group, with the belief system profile that we've created, we're going to have some people who are not going to want to change. We're going to have some people who are going to be actively looking for something new and better, which is exactly what we'll provide. And then finally, again, the mainstream, we'll get to, I'll show you exactly how we get adopters to drag them towards us as well.